Okay, okay. Wow. How long has it been tonight, huh? 7.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I have sat from this show from 4 o'clock in the afternoon all the way to 11:25 at night. I know over there at MetLife Stadium it had to be 12:20 something at night when this show ended. This show is like what, 6.5, 7 hours long. I don't understand why they make this show fucking long at this point for WrestleMania. I said that shit last year, and it felt even longer this year. But what do I have to say about WrestleMania? Because there's a shitload to talk about this show. And there are some things that I liked. There are some things I did not like. There are things that scratched my head and confused the fuck out of me. There was some points where I marked the fuck out. Get some tea. But, like I said, there's some points where I marked the fuck out. There are some points where I just got to the point where I was ready for the show to end. Okay, I was ready for it to end. And what do I have to say about WrestleMania, huh? Would I go on here and say it was was it a better show than last year? Yes, I'll go off the bat and say that anybody can agree on. Way better than last year. But there is a point where this show peaked and things just either start to go downhill, dragged, or just I don't give a fuck at this point. Because I sat here from 4 o'clock, right? And I guess we can just kind of go from the pre-show, I guess. We'll start off with that till we get to the main show. Because, like I said, there's plenty of things to speak on. Sorry, my nose is a little messed up. But there's plenty of things to speak on from the main show to the pre-show. And I'm going to get to like a lot of parts that was good and bad. Because I'll just say this right now. Because in the first half of Mania, it was really good, but it did peak at a certain point, and I'm sure you all know where it peaked. But we will start off with the pre-show, though, because this started about 4 o'clock. First off, I do want to say about the stage real quick before I go on from anything for WrestleMania. Yeah, I know it was, like I said, MetLife Stadium. The stage itself, though, it wasn't really nothing too extravagant, in my opinion. I think it was just really simple. It was just like a big, giant, curved monitor screen. It wasn't nothing, to fit the theme, I guess, with the shadow of New York, as they call it, because I guess New Jersey is a very bad word to them, or Jersey doesn't exist. It's pretty much in between it, but we're in the shadow of New York. You're going to hear that many times tonight, but excuse me, but like I said, I'm getting a little cold here, but in the shadow of New York, they like to call it though. I will say, like I said, the stage itself wasn't that bad, but it looked basic. Okay, it was pretty basic. It was simple, yes, it was, but it just looked basic to me. Okay, I kind of expected something a little bit more, more set design than that, but WWE doesn't really kind of do a lot of set designs and everything, so they just kind of kept it simple. Okay, it was very simple, just a big curved LED monitor screen. That's all they went from there. But the first match of the night, we kicked off with the Cruiserweight Championship, and this is going to be my main problem throughout a lot of this show tonight, which pretty much tell me who was going to win and who was not going to win out of one of these matches, though. Throughout all of nearly everyone tonight, the champions came out first before the challenger. Last time I thought it's supposed to be the challenger comes out first, then the champions, not the other way around. And it pretty much gave me, at that point right there, every time the champion kept walking out first, you knew they were going to lose. Everything just kept telling you that. Out of one match, though, that did not happen, and we'll get into that later. But every time a champion came out throughout tonight, you could just tell the title was changing hands, all right? And we kicked it off with Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. First off, I think this was a good match. It was a hot opener to open the show. I don't know what happened to Buddy Murphy's eye at one point in the beginning of the match because I know it was kind of bleeding, but I did enjoy this match. I will say that. I don't know what's really going on 205 right now. I'm assuming Tony Nese is a face at this point. I still think his gimmick is very one-dimensional with the abs thing, but this was a very good match. I thought it was enjoyable. I did like that verse Hurricane Rana, by the way. That looked pretty cool. Murphy hitting the Murphy's Law for a good near fall. And pretty much Nese kind of got back up from, he had his foot on the rope, but Nese came back with a super kick and suplexed Murphy into the corner. He hit him with a running knee, I don't know, or the running Nese, I think it's called, and got the win. So I did not mind that part of the show. I think this was a good match. It was a really good opener. I know some people still don't like the cruiserweights are still on the kickoff show because pretty much the stadium is still, filling up and it's only halfway there. And they're the ones opening the show. So I don't know what's going on 205 all the way right now. Like I said, Tony Nese, I guess, is a face, and I guess he's the thing now for 205. Buddy Murphy, I still say him and Cedric Alexander need to be moved up to the main roster. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I probably, I kind of highly doubt it in a way. Murphy will probably get a rematch for the title, but I don't know. We'll see. But it was at least a good show to open, WrestleMania. Well, the pre-show to WrestleMania, I should say. You got to remember on the kickoff here, people. Next, a match I did not really give a shit about. The Women's Battle Royale, of course. Pretty much everybody just kind of came out and had mostly a jobber's entrance outside of Naomi and Asuka, who had their own entrances. But everybody that was out there was I think it was 2 NXT people. Candice LeRae, which somebody told me. My friend said this, that pretty much if you watch NXT, Candice LeRae actually getting more match time than she does on NXT, which is true because most of the time she just standing there talking to Johnny Gargano when you look at it. And Kairi Sane was in this battle royale also. I will say to add that Ember Moon actually is now cleared and back in, is back already because Moon was gone for a couple months kind of after the Rumble because she got hurt, but I guess she was medically cleared to go. At first I would say, hey, I wouldn't mind if Ember Moon won, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But you saw people from the Riot Squad, Lana, Maria, which I'm surprised she still has a job in this company. I didn't know she still worked here. Selena Vega, Dana Brooke, who actually got a chant out there tonight. Nikki Cross, and others, Mickey James, but pretty much anybody that you knew who wanted to win, I'm sure did not win. I'm sure they came up with some off the wall type of finish. Here was the Riot Squad was eliminating a lot of people. Moon was pretty much gone early, which I'm sure I had that person win, but I was like, well, fuck it then. That was gone. When it kind of got to the final 4-3, it was Asuka, Sarah Logan, and Sonya Deville. Deville pretty much knocked Asuka out, to eliminate her. I'm sure everybody knew Asuka wasn't gonna win just because she stood tall at SmackDown the other night. After throwing everybody out, so you kind of figure she was not gonna win this. But then again, I don't know what they do with Asuka at this point. After that, Sarah Logan didn't eliminate. Yeah, Sarah Logan did eliminate Asuka. I think I said Deville eliminated her because Deville was out first, and Logan eliminated Asuka. But did NXT though, since Carmella was hiding somewhere from under the ring, she came back in and pretty much kicked Logan out of the ring to win the Battle Royale. They pretty much almost did the same finish like they did last year at WrestleMania. If you remember the whole Women's Battle Royale thing. Wasn't it that Becky looked like she won, or Bayley looked like she won last year, and then Naomi was pretty much hiding from somewhere under the ring, and then came back in, won the match. This is pretty much a copy and paste of what happened last year. Funny they would try to make Sarah Logan look strong when they usually, pretty much the Riot Squad are just enhancement talent at this point. That's all they really are. They just pretty much nearly job to everybody. And, Carmella winning this thing, and listen, this gains nothing, okay? It gains nothing. All right? I just don't get it. And then again, like I said, this is literally like last year This is literally a copy paste of last year. Hell, this is like what happened at the fucking G1 battle, the whole Honor Rumble. I saw the G1 Supercard last Saturday. Kenny King hides under the ring somewhere throughout a majority of the match, and then comes back, eliminates the last other two, and wins the match then. So, there you go. Listen, Carmelo will probably carry his trophy like 3-4 weeks. He'll disappear. Blah blah blah. Well, fuck this match. All right, just fuck it. I think she hugged her dad after that too. Next, a match that was added the last minute, and then next thing you know, it's on the pre-show for some reason. Then Hawkins and Ryder, what did they do? What did they do to deserve a title shot versus the Revival? Scott Dawson and local hero right now, Dash Wilder, who knocked the fuck out of that guy that attacked Bret Hart last night at the Hall of Fame. Even they had to make some type of jokes at it. That Dash Wilder is heavy-handed. You don't want to get in a fight with this guy. Very good shot there. But the thing is, listen, I did not really care about this match. The match was okay. I'll give it that. And the crowd did kind of come to. Looks like I got a phone call. Hold on a second here. I had to take that phone call real quick, but like I said, why was this on the pre-show? Like I said, this match was, I will say this, it was kind of getting good near the end of it, and there was a "Let's Go Hawkins" chant and everything, but I kind of figured who was gonna win this match. Really, since pretty much, I believe Hawkins and Ryder from the that New York, New Jersey area, anyways. So it was like a lot of New York, New Jersey wins right here. I will say that. Because I believe people said Tony Nese is from from around here also. So it was like a big win for them right now. What do I have to say about this then? Excuse me, but like I said, this match itself, it was okay, but then again, I've said this before. Why was this match added the last minute to WrestleMania? Why was this even on the pre-show? Hell, after what Dash Wilder did last night, you ought to be giving the Revival a reward and have them compete for the titles on the main show. Okay, I figured he was gonna win this match, Hawkins and Ryder, because they wanted to end the whole Hawkins 200-something day streak thing, which pretty much they won the tag team titles. I don't know if this really listen, this doesn't change anything for the tag division, if you ask me. The Raw tag team division sucks now. I don't think Hawkins and Ryder make it better. Listen, the Revival were the champions, but most of the time they got beat by everybody literally the week after they won the belts to Ricochet and Black almost 3-4 different times and several other people. So even when the Revival had the belts, they still felt like job guys at the same time. Nothing did not really benefit them, okay? Yeah, they honestly didn't. So I'm not really surprised by the whole title change, but the fact that it was announced like 2 days before WrestleMania, even though these guys lose more than they win and get the shit kicked out of them, and then just kind of just have them lose the belts just like this is just strange. I don't know, man. Something about that is just odd to me, okay? So I don't think Hawkins and Ryder, I don't even know how long they'll have those titles, but they just wanted to end this whole 200, 300 day, whatever losing streak with Kurt Hawkins, and I guess give him a feel good moment for a win. But the Revival, I don't even know at this point. I'm sure everybody in their mind right now is going to AEW, go to AEW. Hey, maybe they talked to Billy Gunn last night at the Hall of Fame, or Billy Gunn probably offered them and said, hey, you guys want to come to AEW? We had a great tag division. You guys would fit right in. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised they didn't. But them losing the titles, I'm not really surprised because they didn't really do nothing much with the titles. And then now we go next into another bullshit match for the pre-show. Oh god, the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Pretty much everybody walks out there and are either just job guys that get no entrances from, the Ascension, Heavy Machinery, EC3, Jinder, No LZ, Rude, Gable, the Lucha guys, Almas and stuff, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, but the Saturday Night Live guys, Colin Joseph, Michael Shea get their own entrance. So is the Hardy Boys and Braun Strowman. Okay, I don't know why they gave these guys an entrance though. These Saturday Night Live guys. Okay, I don't get it. Listen, there's not much to say from this. Okay, come on. EC3 was like the third guy eliminated. That tells you how they treat them. I believe my neighbor more and more when he says, EC3 may be leaving this company, for all I know, because dude, EC3, I just don't know. I called him a job guy already this week. Okay, I did, and this just kind of shows even more. Oh, it was surprised to see Luke Harper out there. At least they had to stare down with Strowman for a minute that the crowd actually kind of was going with. Actually, I was kind of pulling for Luke Harper to win this in a way too, or maybe Almas, but we all knew where the story was kind of gonna go with this. Of course, Otis hit his double caterpillar thing in the Ring of the Ascension, and threw him out right after. I knew Mustafa Ali was in there, and I think Harper had him powerbomb to almost go back into the ring, but Strowman kicked both of them out, and Harper's head almost hit that announce table, by the way, too. And then when we gotta get to the final people there, the Hardys that tried to eliminate Strowman, for some reason, and I thought this was kind of dumb in a way, Almas and Cruz on the apron of the ring, right? Why would Almas do a Hurricane Rana off the apron of the ring and then look surprised that he got eliminated? Like, dude, you were not going to land on the apron while doing a Hurricane Rana. And if you did, it would have been on account of luck, okay? So, I did not understand that. Like, did this dude just eliminate himself through a Hurricane Rana? That didn't make a lot of sense to me. It just didn't, okay? I don't know. And then when the Hardys are trying to eliminate Strowman, the Saturday Night Live guys tried to come in and get him from the hand. Strowman took out the Hardys, and then next thing you know, they bring this self-therapist guy in to control his anger, and Strowman throws him, and then he punches Michael Shea out of the ring, and then they have Colin Jost almost eliminate him, and Strowman ended up throwing him on to everybody that was just standing outside to catch Jost, but dude, I don't know. Okay, I don't get this. Okay, this battle royale. Listen, Strowman was gonna win it anyways. It's not gonna gain him nothing. This trophy does nothing. This battle royale means nothing. No one's gonna gain anything from this. Okay, no one. No one gained anything from this. Like I said, for EC3. Why did they bring him up to the main roster? Someone tell me, why did they bring this guy up to the main roster? I don't get it, okay? This made no sense. This did nothing for anybody. This was just for WrestleMania payday, okay? Why are Saturday Night Live guys the last ones in this? Yeah, but yeah, like I said, this gains nothing, okay? Nothing. It just doesn't. I don't understand why they continue this battle royale, but it's the shits. It's the shits, as Bret Hart would say. But now moving on to the main part of the show. We kicked it off. Yolanda Adams, America the Beautiful, that started off. But they started off with a very good video package, and then Alexa Bliss, who is the host of WrestleMania. I just don't really see why she even the host at this point anyways, but as she says, she controls WrestleMania at the palm of her hands. Next thing you know, she can, make things happen at the snap of her fingers. She says, you don't believe me, she does it. Hulk Hogan comes out then, you've already heard me, what I've said to say about Hogan in the past, so pretty much fuck him. I don't care. Fuck Hogan, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. I do too. All they really had to do was say the Silver Dome again, and then he said it was the MetLife Center and at the MetLife Stadium. But just dude, fuck him, okay? Fuck him. Like I said, I don't blame what the New Day did last night, or Drew, or many other people that decided not to clap for this guy, okay? Just come on, man. I ain't giving this motherfucker no pass, alright? I'm not, alright? He still got big pop, but I'm sure a lot of people still did not give a fuck about him. But then next thing you know, well, this is now where the better part of the show, and very shocking and surprising part happens, okay? Paul Heyman Paul Heyman comes out, who pretty much storms past Hulk Hogan and Alexa Bliss going to the ring, that him and his client are not happy right now, and they're going to get business done right now because there's a jet waiting for them going to Las Vegas. So since we're not in the main event of WrestleMania, we're going to do the title match right now. So pretty much the Universal Championship is on the damn line right now. He pretty much introduced Lesnar. Of course, you had the pyro. Then next thing you know, Seth Rollins came out that had Beast Slayer on it. Lesnar pretty much attacked Seth Rollins before the match, giving him an F5 at the ringside, throwing him all over the place. You could see the bruises on Seth Rollins, by the way. Throwing him into the barricade, German suplexing him into the broadcast table, throw it over to the broadcast table. Pretty much, Lesnar is beating the holy shit out of Seth Rollins and telling him to get up. He kept telling the referee to ring the bell. He keeps checking all on Rollins because he wouldn't do it. But then next thing you know, Lesnar just tossed him again back outside. He just Germans him back into the German announce table, which he even hit one of the announcers then too, and even slammed Seth Rollins to like the plastic part of the. Have to excuse me for that, but I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep doing this. Sick of that, but pretty much slammed to the plastic part of the announce table, and tossed Rollins back in the ring, which he pretty much laughed until he actually started the match. Next thing you know, Lesnar hits a German suplex on him, several of them. He's hit Suplex City bitches. He hit another suplex. And then next thing you know, Rollins is just trying to get up, as you know, you just see the bruises on his back. Once again, like I said, Brock just hit some more suplexes then, and he was about to hit the F5, but Seth got out of there. He pushed Brock into the referee, who was knocked out of the ring. Then Rollins pretty much hits Brock Lesnar right in the nuts, low blow. Super kicks him, hits the stop 3 times, and in a 2-minute and 30-second match, Seth Rollins won the Universal Championship. First off, I will say this. I did not expect this to be the beginning of the show. I did not think this was going to be the first match of this show. I was actually surprised Seth Rollins won, because I did say he was going to win, but there was so many people I talked to really said Seth Rollins was going to lose, but this was a very smart idea. You did this while the crowd was hot out there, and the crowd went nuts for it. And like I said, they went big for Seth. He got pyro right after, because people wondered all night were all the faces going to win for WrestleMania, okay? Because if one face win, that got people worried. Could the other 2 faces win the match throughout the night, huh? Could they? And pretty much after what you saw Brock pretty much still looking around at Seth Rollins then as Seth celebrated. So this was surprising. Yes, this was a 2-minute 30-second match. It was brief. If you wanted to count totals, probably had to go 8 minutes if you count before the match and Brock doing the beating and everything. But I guess Brock just wanted to get the fuck up out of there, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to sit through this 7.5-hour show, because I could get into that later on, but I can see why they had Brock do this now. Could Brock be going back to UFC after this? I don't know. I am just glad there is no more Invisible Champion, and we actually have a legit champion on the damn main show now at this point, okay? Hopefully, will the ratings change? I don't know for Monday Night Raw, okay? I don't know. But, this was a hot way to open up the show for WrestleMania, and it was great, but honestly, I'm just glad that finally Seth's got the belt back. All right, this whole Brock Lesnar Invisible part-time champion thing has gone on long enough. It's been over a year or 2 with him just being champion, and now we actually have a legit champion on Monday Night Raw. So I have no problem with this. I actually expected this match to be later in the night, but in my opinion, I do believe in the way they did this match, because Brock wanted to get the fuck out of here and did not want to sit through this whole thing, especially for almost 7.5 hours all the way to nighttime, and wanted out of this. So what happens next after this, I don't know. Could Brock and them be back tomorrow night? I got no idea. I got no clue. Maybe Seth finally moves on to a different opponent, hopefully, because this Universal shit has just gone long enough. and usually they try to make the Universal. But I will say one thing that is pretty good though: the WWE Championship got ahead of the Universal Championship, so that's actually a good thing to say from there. But pretty much after that, we then went into AJ Styles versus Randy Orton in a very good match, which at one point the crowd was distracted, and I thought this was going to be by the beach ball again, but there were many complaints throughout the crowd throughout the night that the lights were too bright because everything looked red and orange and everything to fit the whole WrestleMania logo, and I think a lot of fans could not actually see what was going into the ring, so they couldn't see what was going on in the ring, so they had to look on the Titantron, I believe, to see what was going on. But I enjoyed this match. This was a really good match. It had a really good a good pace to it. It was a little slow at first, but both guys kind of started dodging each other's moves then from the forearm and even the RKO. Even at one point, Styles was about to hit the forearm again, but he was good at the RKO, but AJ stopped himself and he hit the 450 for a near fall. In he had set up for the forearm, but Orton pretty much got out of there. He hit him with of course, his backbreaker. Then he did his stomps on him, which was pretty good. Even at one point, Orton was setting up for the RKO, but I think fans were cheering that they had turned the lights on and the lights off. I think that was what the most cheers were for that. But pretty much when Orton was trying to get the RKO, AJ was able to get out of there. But after AJ had dodged again, Orton did him with an RKO, but AJ was able to kick out. And Orton was actually going to RKO AJ Styles off the top rope then, but AJ slipped through it, pretty much knocked Orton down. Had him on the outside, hit him with a forearm from the ringside then, threw Orton back in the ring. Styles was going for a springboard. Orton had caught him and was going to go for an RKO. Styles pretty much knocked him off. He pretty much knocked him off from there, knocked Orton back into the ring, and he hit a phenomenal forearm, pinning Randy Orton. So AJ Styles won the match. I figured AJ was going to win anyways just because Orton did the whole flying RKO thing last Tuesday on SmackDown. But this was a really good match. It was a good pace to it. It pretty much set up for AJ to hit that forearm because Orton was trying to get the RKO. It told a good story out there too. So this was a really good match, and it was very enjoyable from both guys. Very enjoyable from both guys. So I did like this match, and this is when Mania was really getting good, because I'm like, Mania really was going good so far, I will say that. We then pretty much what do? We have Grandpa Simpson, Lacey Evans comes out. Why do this? Pointless as hell. But then we get into the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match, which once again, as I said, why are the champions coming out first? The Usos with some pretty cool hoodies. Here we're going against The Bar, Nakamura and Rusev, which Nakamura looks like that guy from Trigun now, and Ricochet and Aleister Black, since they've been getting title shots pretty much the whole week. They get one more tonight at WrestleMania. And this was a very good match. Very chaotic. It was crazy, and it was actually fun to watch. I did like when Cesaro swung around Ricochet for almost 45 freaking times out there, with Sheamus hitting the bell bar, the beats of the Bower on nearly everybody in the ring. Of course, I did like the Tower of Doom spot. Ricochet was the only one to get out of it and hit the 630 then on Cesaro, but everybody kind of started breaking it up then. And as everybody started hitting finishers on each other, Usos pretty much hit double super kicks on Sheamus, pretty much knocking him down, hitting a double splash from across the ring, which the Usos actually retained their titles. Now, this one I was actually surprised at, because I'm saying, okay, Usos come out first and they're champions, so I'm thinking, all right, these guys are gonna lose. So they actually got the win, and like I said, the crowd was really into this from everybody. Okay, because I will say one good thing for Usos too. I'm glad the Usos finally got a main spot on the main roster, on the main part of WrestleMania, because I know they had put that a lot into their promo last year about being on the pre-show and the main show. I didn't like it last year because they only had like a 5-minute match out there, and they had to follow the whole Rousey Kurt Angle thing. But at least they got a legit match this time, and still defended their titles. As for Ricochet and Black, do they continue the team after this? I don't know, because they pretty much had every title shot. And I don't know if they're going to turn on each other, but could they be going to separate shows? I don't know, because Ricochet and Black have appeared on every show. They're not going to be on NXT anymore. They're pretty much done with NXT from at this point. I know there was some reports about Ricochet being hurt, after TakeOver, but he pretty much looked out good out there to me. But like I said, Ricochet and Black, I don't know what goes up next for them, but this was a very, fun, crazy, fatal four-way, chaotic tag match, and I liked it, okay? This was a good one tonight. So, Usos retained their championships. Pretty much they had all the class of 2019 Hall of Famers come out. Honky Tonk Man, Harlem Heat, Tori Wilson, Bruce the Barber Beefcake, Hart Foundation, which was Brett and Natalia, Sue Atkinson of the Warrior Award, and D-Generation X. Like I said, all the DX came out through glow sticks, couple pyro. They really didn't even have no suits. They all pretty much came out in their DX gear and did their whole thing. So good little moment from that. So, like I said, Hall of Famers had that. Next thing you know, the Falls Count Anywhere match, Shane McMahon versus The Miz. What do I have to say this? Okay. This was not a bad match, the Falls Count Anywhere. I did not really care about this match coming in. And, Shane McMahon, he comes out in all black. Somebody told me he looked like Michael Keaton, my friend did. My friend Steven told me they looked like Michael Keaton coming out there, and he had all black on in his whole gear, which he had Greg Hamilton pretty much said the best in the world. Shane McMahon, Miz came out then, pretty much hugged his dad as he was right there. Pretty much both these guys start brawling with each other, but Shane had grabbed Miz's dad by the face, and Miz chasing him, and they jumped over the barricade then. Which next thing you know, they were fighting at the announce table, then hitting each other with television monitors. At one point, Shane, of course, was going to do his giant elbow drop because Shane is... This was the stuntman match, okay? This was who could be a human stuntman more, Shane McMahon or The Miz. And what can I say from this with Shane McMahon and The Miz? Because Shane McMahon was going to do the elbow drop, and Miz's dad came in and... was pretty much stopped. He stopped Shane. He took off his jacket and was going to fight him then. Shane pretty much started beating up Miz's dad, but Miz pretty much came back in and started beating up the Miz. He told the referees to check his dad to see if he was okay. Which pretty much... which he wanted the EMTs out there to check him in after that. Next thing you know, they pretty much started going into the crowd, fighting where it was like the WrestleMania sign at one point. It was somewhere around the ring. There was this one spot where Miz had a monitor on him, and Shane took this giant bump where you could just see him jump and fall back, landing on a golf cart, and then falling to the ground and on the concrete. I'm glad he held his head up, because that would have looked really bad, because that ledge had to be 3 feet he jumped off of, okay? And it looked a little bit brutal, okay? I will say Shane McMahon took a beating throughout this match. Yes, he did. And as Miz dominated him then, he threw him in some more cameras, and then they climbed up this thing where he skull crushing finale him then, and as he had Shane out, Shane was trying to get up. He climbed this thing, and he pretty much begged Miz to get off the platform and stuff they were on, because they were trying. Shane was pretty much pleading with him. Miz kept punching Shane, and then he set him up for a suplex where they were at this whole camera tower. They pretty much, he suplexed him off the ledge, which you could see it was on some cardboard or whatever. Kind of a safe spot right there, I will say that. But it ended up with Shane, which the referee pinned, but Shane was on top of Miz. So pretty much after that, Shane McMahon won. So this was a Falls Count Anywhere match, and Shane was on top of Miz after Miz hit a suplex on him, but Shane landed on top of him, so Shane won the match. I will say this was a good match. Unfortunately, I don't want to see more of this feud, but I can tell it's going to continue from after this. I didn't really expect Shane McMahon to win in all honesty. But hey, he did though. And he took a beating out there. I will say that. Shane McMahon, he took a very large beating out there. Excuse me. Yeah, he took a. He took a beating out there, and it was pretty good. I will say that. Excuse me. It was pretty good going up into the end, but did I really expect Shane to win? Not really, in a way. So, like I said, I'm sure this Miz and Shane thing continues. I don't want to see that, but hey, there you go. One thing I will say, I got tired throughout the night before we get into this next match, and I didn't mention this earlier versus in the AJ versus Randy Orton match, but my God. How many guest commentators were we going to have tonight on this show? Every match nearly had a guest commentator out there. You had Jerry the King Lawler for AJ and Orton. And then when we get to the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag match, where this was not a good match, and I'm going to get into that. We had Paige had to come out and commentate for that. I'm sitting there wondering, how many commentators are we going to have tonight? Because we had Sasha and Bayley, where their botch, their entrance was kind of botched because the Bayley buddies didn't go up. And that kind of tell me they were going to lose the title. Like I said before, the champions are coming out first again. Going against Nia Jax and Tamina, the Iconics, who look like Maleficent now, and Heart Foundation 2.0 or 3.0, Beth and Natalia, which they actually had Brett accompanying them to the ring and pretty much, gave him a high five before he went backstage. This match, I don't want to say it was bad, but I don't want to say it was that bad all the way. It was very botchy at some point, and I think it was the finish that just kind of really killed it, and the crowd was very quiet through a lot of this match too. This is where in a way, they just kind of fell off at that point, and Beth pretty much hit a glam slam on Bayley from the second rope and everything. And next thing you know, the Iconics pretty much push Beth Phoenix out the way and steal the pin on Bayley, becoming the new women's tag belts. I just didn't think this match was really that good either. I almost thought Tamina and Nia Jax were going to do some crazy splash at one point, but that did not happen. I say thank God that didn't happen now, but Sorry, I really had to blow my nose there. That didn't happen now, but and shit. Excuse me. But I don't know, man. It looked like the crowd just kind of were really quiet on this. And then, the Iconics winning. I don't know what to really say about that, okay? Like, everybody did what they had to do to get in this whole, get their shit in for this tag match, but I don't know if the Iconics are really going to make it better. I honestly don't. They're that good, okay? Iconics, they suck. All right, I'm sorry. They suck. I didn't even pay attention to their promo last Tuesday, and I've seen them botch many moves before, which questions me more, why were they ever brought to the main roster to begin with? I really don't know how long this title reign is going to go on for. I honestly expected Beth and Natalia to win, but we know Beth is not going to be around that long anyway. So, we got to remember, she's just here for WrestleMania. We got to remember she's a Hall of Famer. In all honesty, Beth Phoenix can still go for all I know, but this was most likely a one-time thing for WrestleMania. Does she wrestle after this? I don't know, but I'm sure fans were really shocked to see the Iconics win, but I don't know if this is really gonna go well. I honestly don't. But moving on, the WWE Championship. Oh boy, now this one was a big one people were worried about. Oh yeah, the WWE Championship now. This was the big one. I am almost surprised this match was not later in the show, or actually the co-main event, but this was probably the best thing of the entire night. This right here felt like the true main event of WrestleMania to me. This was the biggest reaction out of the entire night, out of this entire show. And I dare anyone to debate me on that. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Okay? Because, first off, like I said, Kofi, Daniel Bryan, pretty much a good video package. Kofi came out with New Day, a very big chant for Kofi as, the New Day's theme song happened. And, Big E's got this box with him then, which, we didn't know was in the box, but, it kind of tell you who was going to win because, first off, I didn't understand why they had a podium right there to put the WWE Championship on, but I believe some people said they saw there was going to be a different WWE title, and I think people knew Kofi was going to win from right the beginning, but this match was just fucking fantastic, okay? I loved this match, all right? This was great. Like I said, of course, you had Rowan out there in the New Day, and there was just a lot of crazy near falls at one point. One thing I did like was when what was it? I think Kofi was trying to do that double stomp move, but then he kind of, Bryan had pretty much dodged it and hit him with a label lock after that. Excuse me. A label lock after that, and Kofi was able to get out of the label lock then. Even Daniel Bryan doing pretty much a lion tamer, I thought at one point before he did a Boston Crab. I was like, wow, he's using Jericho moves out there. A lion tamer. I was like, okay then. And then, when you watch it throughout the match, you can see other wrestlers in the back, almost like they did on SmackDown, watching, just watching the match then from the back, monitoring it. Kingston hit the SOS for a good 2 count then, but Daniel had rolled it back into a label lock in, which Kofi actually got his foot on the ropes. And as the crowd was just getting fired up then after that, Bryan and Kofi just started kicking back at each other as Kofi said, come on, keep kicking, which, he had got Bryan to the ground then, and he was going to go for a Trouble in Paradise, but Daniel Bryan hit a running knee for a very, very big, near 2 fall right there, which had the crowd going. Next thing you know, as Bryan was out of the ring then, Kofi tried to get him, but Rowan got in his way. The New Day came to help, but Rowan took out the New Day. Kofi hit him with Trouble in Paradise. Up, down, down on Rowan then as they hit the midnight hour, or like I said, up, down, down, whatever you want to call it. Kofi and Bryan pretty much got back into the ring then. Kofi had charged in him, but he tried to do a Trouble in Paradise. Like I say, he went for a Trouble in Paradise, but yeah, that's when that running knee thing in. I think I said a little too early, but that was a really great near fall from after that. Everybody looked shocked. Excuse me. Everybody looked shocked then. Bryan pretty much started taking Kofi and started stomping on his head, holding his arms up then. Bryan, he had the label lock, but Kofi looked like his arm was about to give up, but Kofi pretty much kind of got out of it. Kofi got out of there and then he started punching Bryan after that, which, the guy's just, getting up and he got out of there. It's like every time Bryan kept trying to hold on to his arm, Kofi kept punching him to get out of it. Bryan kept holding on, but Kofi had finally got out of there then, and then he started stomping on Bryan's face. He hit the Trouble in Paradise after that, set it up, 1, 2, 3. The crowd just went insane, okay? This was just a great moment, okay? This crowd was so invested into this match. This really shocked me why this was not the main event of WrestleMania, because after this, let me say this, after this match, this is where the show peaked, okay? This is where the freaking show peaked. This felt like the real main event of WrestleMania, and I kept saying that. I felt like, and I said this in my other reviews too, this felt like the best built match to me, and this needed to be the main event of WrestleMania. We all know why the women main event of WrestleMania, and I'm getting into that later on, but the reaction of this crowd was just great. This was a very great feel-good moment, and even after that, you see all the faces celebrating in the back, and Big E and Woods, Woods with tears in his eyes, pretty much got rid of Bryan's old belt and had the old WWE Championship then, holding up, just holding Kofi Kingston up, and even bringing his two sons in the ring as they opened the box, which had, new Kofi t-shirts. Even, his son even got up to the turnbuckle and even held the shirt up, man. And that it was just a great moment. It was a great fucking match, and that was like one of the best things out of this whole night on WrestleMania. Probably the best thing. This was the mark out moment, okay? I marked the fuck out. I jumped out of my seat when he won the title. It was beautiful, man. It was just fucking great, and I'm sure a lot of people felt that way too, because I go on and say this, and I said this before and everything, because if you want to think of now, like Kofi excuse me, Kofi is now the first ever first ever black WWE champion. And I know it's going to be a lot of debate in this, and I said this before. I know people count The Rock into this too. Like I said before, The Rock is black. He's half Samoan. I'm not taking that away from him, but WWE has always focused more on his Samoan side than his black side, okay? And that's why I said Kofi as full black WWE champion, okay? I know people are going to try to bring up, Booker T or Mark Henry, but I'm talking about the WWE championship, not the World Heavyweight Championship, not the WCW championship. They've had this, okay? Don't get me wrong, but this is the WWE championship, the main belt, which should be the main belt in this fucking company. And like I said, the main belt in this fucking company, that's, like I said, is the biggest prize in this company, okay? So that's why I say he is, like I said, the first black, full black WWE champion, all right? That's why I say that statement, and it's just, you gotta agree with it, in my opinion. Like I said, it could be debates into this, but I'm standing by what I say when I say that. But this was just, this was the moment of the night, okay? This was the biggest moment of the fucking night. And this is where people were worried about the main event too, because two faces went over and won the big belts, all right? Seth won the big belt in the beginning. Kofi won the big belt right here, WWE Championship, and he went over his face, because I'm sure a lot of people were waiting for some swerve or screw job to happen. I'm glad it didn't happen. It was great. It was a clean win, and I can't really complain with that, all right? Excuse me, man. I'm really sick tonight. I really got to drink some tea after this. But like I said, man, just the reaction of this crowd, they were bonkers for this match. This was like the loudest the crowd had got throughout the entire night. So just a fantastic match, folks. A fantastic match. Pretty much right after, they got Alexa Bliss checking out the Saturday Night Live guys, which they had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash as doctors. Hey yo. Pretty much right after that, like I said, once the WWE Championship match happened, this is where the show peaked. Samoa Joe went against Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title, which the match was 1 minute. It was just 1 minute, okay? And they brought Booker T out there to be the guest, once again, more of these guest commentators, so we didn't really see Booker T that long. Listen, there wasn't much to say. Joe went in. Mysterio came back. He hit a tornado DDT, Springboard Hurricane Rana, 619. Ray went for the West Coast Pop, and Joe got out there, Kikino Clutch, it was over. And then Ray just kind of looked surprised what happened. Listen, I think that this is the only reason why this match was 1 minute, because I believe Rey Mysterio is still hurt from his ankle injury last Monday, so I don't think this was a full 100% Ray, and I think this match won't probably happen again until fully on a later date. I am glad Samoa Joe, which in all honesty, he needed this win, okay? He really did, because ever since Samoa Joe had the U.S. title, it's like even when he won the U.S. title, they still gotta treat this guy like shit, and he still loses, okay? Even when he is champion, the man still loses. But, him, at least he looked dominant and everything, but I'm sure there was a different plan to this, especially adding Ray's son into this, Dominic, because he kept saying that, he called Joe a bully several times, but we didn't even see Dominic, okay? He never was even out there. And I did like Ray's gear, too. I can't really tell what he was dressed as, and I need to go back and, look at his gear. It looked cool, I will say that, though, but this match was just, like I said, it was just 1 minute, and I didn't really think it was going to go that fast. Like, you could have just blinked your eye, and it was already over at that point. But like I said, Ray was hurt, so I can understand why this was 1 minute, but at least Joe at least looked dominant, and this was his first WrestleMania being here, so good for him. Because honestly, I actually expected Joe to lose the U.S. title tonight on WrestleMania. I really did. Next, oh boy, the Roman agenda, folks. Roman Reigns. Well, welcome back. Business as usual with Roman Reigns. Come on. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, who they give Drew McIntyre same entrance like he had at TakeOver a few years ago. TakeOver Brooklyn 2, 3, I believe it was. And with the bagpipes and the guys, playing his theme song. And Roman, for some reason, gets all this super pyro before the match. I will say that. Hold on a second. It was. Hold on a second. Yeah, the Roman agenda though. Roman, yeah, he gets this pyro, okay? And watching this match, pretty much everything I thought in my head what was going to happen in this match happened, okay? They pretty much have McIntyre beat up Roman almost 70% of the match. Let me remind you, fans pretty much started to turn on Roman and boo him again, so that once again, we're back to business as usual. The fans have turned on Roman again, and they even tried to mute out the boos, okay? They really did. Excuse me. Sorry, I really gotta check this message. It was actually kind of important, but I didn't, like I said about Roman and everything. He gets beat up 70% of the match, and then next thing you know, Roman's gonna come back, and of course he hits the Superman punch, he hits the drive-by kick, and you could even hear before he hits the spear, you could hear asshole chants in. Now, I don't know if the asshole chants were directed at him. There are some people saying that the fans were chanting asshole at somebody else, but it looked like the crowd just kind of got quiet through this, and I don't think they really cared because they probably knew who was going to win, or they booed Roman, okay? Come on, anybody saw this match coming. There was no brainer, okay? Like, there was no surprise to this. We all knew Roman Reigns was going to win. Like, come on, they let McIntyre beat him up for like 3 weeks. I know people wanted McIntyre to win, and they think he needed this big win, especially over Roman at Mania, but I don't think this was ever going to happen. This is business as usual, okay? This was just a basic match, alright? There's nothing much to say from here. This was just Roman getting beat up majority of the match, and, he comes back and he looks strong, and that's the thing, okay? That's all it is. And like I said, the fans either turned on him and started, it was a lot of boos, okay? It really was, and maybe some cheers, but more boos. Now, if the asshole chants were directed at him, then the fans have pretty much turned on this guy again, okay? This was just one of the most predictable and, disappointing matches in a way. It was predictable. Like I said, no, I'm not surprised by this. Drew McIntyre, they're just kind of spinning their wheels with it at this point. Yeah, they let him beat up Roman for almost 3 weeks, okay? They did that. But after what I saw on, last Monday on Raw, you knew Roman was winning this match. You knew. You all knew. And the announcers are just making Roman Reigns just look like a god out there, okay? Roman has overcome this. He has overcome that. Okay, we understand. He has overcame. He's put leukemia back in remission. And that is great. That's fantastic. But they were just like, Roman, it was like they almost made it feel like Roman was main event in WrestleMania at one point. The way they were putting him over on commentary, okay? They really were. So, Like I said, the Roman agenda continues. We got to get back to, soon enough he will be champion soon enough, people, okay? Like I said before, after they get through Mania and everything, sooner or later, do not be surprised if Roman, now that I think about it, do not be surprised if they start to put Roman Reigns back in the title picture tomorrow night on Raw. Do not be surprised, people, because it's happening, okay? It's gonna happen. So just don't be surprised. But like I said, Roman wins. Drew just gets beat. I don't even know where the fuck Drew McIntyre goes on at this point. I got no fucking clue. He was just there to get Roman over. That's all he was there to do. He was there to make Roman look strong in this entire feud. Next thing you know, we have Elias with his concert, which the Three Faces of Elias happened. If you remember, if you want to go with Mick Foley back then years ago when he had Mankind, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack Phil's talking on the screen, we had Elias playing multiple instruments from the drums to a piano with him and a guitar in the ring, which, he starts playing it again, and, they're all playing songs, they're all playing a song then, but next thing you know, it was like this New York Yankees thing that was going on, even though we're in New Jersey and not technically in New York right now for MetLife Stadium. Why are we playing a Yankees video? Next thing you know, the Dr. Thugonomics returned, John Cena. And I love this, okay? I love this. This was a great moment. Now, this was a great moment of the night for me. I love this. The fact that we get old school 2004 John Cena was just fucking fantastic. He had the old look, he had the chain gang bag, we had the word life sign, backwards hat, and John Cena brought the bars to Elias. I will say that, and I ain't gonna lie, I laughed, and the crowd was going nuts with it. Like, I like what he said, like, I'm like a bad dog that bites you. Elias, you even half a dog. You just a little piece of shih tzu. They even had a shih tzu on there with like Elias's face with the dog on it. Like, I ruined your push. All right, and he had a bag. He had like a bag. It's like a bag of my nuts, and you got a hairier bush. And then he said he had the golden shovel. A lot of people say I got the golden shovel, and maybe that's true. But this ain't no you about to get that fu. So I don't know if I said all those lines right, but John Cena brought the bars back. He FU'd Elias 2 years in a row. John Cena screwed Elias. He screwed him last year with his concert in a way we thought Undertaker was gonna happen, which we got no Undertaker, by the way. It's actually kind of surprising to me, but John Cena, he screws Elias again, but a fun segment. Everybody was with it, and it was actually cool to see the Doctor of Thugonomics again. It's better than seeing regular John Cena. I'll take this John Cena any other day of the week, okay? This is the Cena I actually like to see. I don't care what anybody says. He brought the bars. I will say that. He brought the bars. But since seeing John Cena here, I guess everyone knew he was not going to go against Kurt Angle there later on. Shawn Michaels, another guest commentator, what we have. Double Hall of Famer. A lot of double Hall of Famers tonight. Pretty much having Batista versus Triple H happen next. Hollywood Batista came out with a whole team of guys with SUVs, security guards, which Batista pretty much got out of the... he got out of the SUV, which I swear he hit his head on the door and tried to close it. And Batista made his entrance. I still love the machine gun thing with the pyro. Batista's entrance only works with pyro, if you ask me. But then he botched getting into the ring. You see Batista actually trip trying to get his way into the ring then. And then he walks around, looks at Shawn Michaels, and looks at Triple H's dad then. Of course, they got to promote Batista's new movie that's coming soon, so I think one of his co-stars are out there. And then next thing you know, the Borderlands DLC coming soon. Borderlands 3 DLC, by the way. Triple H edition will be coming out soon, since he had the most expensive, crazy entrance out there like he usually does. This guy looked like a Mad Max character, okay? Or probably the leader of Aces and Eights when I read from Bully Ray tonight on Twitter. He probably did, and it's hilarious, okay? But this dude looked like he was getting ready to play Borderlands 3. I know the trailer just came out and everything not that long ago, but they must be really promoting this video game, okay? They must be. He had a whole giant Mario Kart buggy-like type of wasteland cart, and it just was it was crazy to me, okay? I'm almost surprised this dude didn't even come out as Thanos and Batista wasn't dressed as Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, okay? I am almost surprised that did not happen. Because I swear, if Triple H got the Infinity Gauntlet, I would not know what to say. Okay, I would not know what to say about that. So it was the most insane thing to me. Hold on a second. Yes, but other than their entrances, the match itself, this got a lot of time, which went long to me. Now I did like the beginning of this match. Okay, I did, because both guys pretty much charged at each other, beating the hell out of each other and everything, because Batista immediately went in at Triple H, taking him down. But as the match went on, Triple H got this toolbox, and it was like a chain and everything, and he hit Batista with it, I believe, and kind of whipped him with the chain, and then he threw him into the steel steps. Triple H did had like this, like, pliers then, which he just took Batista's fingers and started ripping it, almost could have breaking his hands. It looked brutal. And then he took a steel chair in the ring and he sat on top of Batista and he pulled off the nose ring he wears, which it looked pretty sick. I will say that, him pulling off the nose ring, which you can just see blood coming from Batista's nose. Then Triple H had the chain and pretty much wrapped it around his fist and was going to hit Batista with it, but Batista got out of there and knocked him onto the broadcast table. He pretty much slammed Triple H to another one, which did not break. By the way, these announce tables were not breaking out there, and he hit Triple H in the back with a chair then, and this is why I felt like the match was getting long, because Triple H was going to go for a pedigree, but Batista got out of there. He got out of it and pretty much was going for a 2 count, but it did not work. Batista did hit Triple H with like some steel steps on the outside of the ring, which he was on the announce tables, and he takes the steel steps then, puts them on top of the announce tables, was going to go for a Batista bomb then, but Triple H, he hit a back body drop on Batista on the table, which it did not break, by the way, so the table didn't break, and then he speared Batista into, like, I believe, the German announce table, putting him through it. He then got a sledgehammer, which I'm sure we all knew what was coming. Batista speared him in the ring, then taking him out. Batista was trying to set up for the Batista bomb. He hit him with the spine buster then, because Triple H kept trying to use the hammer, and even did hit him with Batista bomb as Triple H held on to the sledgehammer. I thought he was going to hit it, but he didn't, and Batista got a near fall after that on a 2 count. Triple H then powerbomb Batista. Yeah, because Batista brought some more steps in the ring, had in the ring. I guess he was going to slam Triple H through it from the top rope, but Batista pretty much got power bombed into the steps then, and after that Triple H hit him with a pedigree, but he hit him with the power bomb from the steps. He had the sledgehammer that was running into him. Batista hits a DDT where Triple H just flips over it then like crazy, and he, pretty much as Triple H got back up, he hit him with a pedigree then after that, 2 count, but as Triple H was trying to get a sledgehammer himself, Batista had got one. Next thing you know, Ric Flair just come out. I was expecting Shawn Michaels to come out and help Triple H for a minute on damn near all the D-Generation X and beat the hell out of Batista. That's what I almost thought when I saw coming, but Ric Flair just shows up from out of nowhere. It's almost like 2005 again, where it's Triple H and Ric Flair versus Batista, and Flair gives Triple H a sledgehammer, and then he distracts Batista then. Triple H just jumps off the steps with almost like a Superman punch type of sledgehammer shot, a super sledgehammer shot. Pedigree, it's over. This match was damn near 25 minutes. This went on very long, I will say that. It was good in the beginning, but at one point these guys were just either starting to drag. I don't know if it's just at this point in their careers and everything, and I don't know if this was Batista's last match or not. I know Batista really, really wanted this match, and I'm sure both guys gave it all that they had out there, but at one point this match was starting to drag. Don't get me wrong, there was some very brutal shots out there. Of course, with the nose ring spot was insane. The chair shot shots, going through the announce tables, sledgehammers and everything. I never believed Triple H was going to lose to begin with, even though they kept saying, oh, his career's on the line. So that pretty much told you Triple H was never going to lose, okay? I don't think he ever was, and he was going to beat Batista regardless, okay? And he had Ric Flair come out and help him. So, hey, dirtiest player in the game. There you go. And, Flair gets some payback also. But, like I said, this match, I don't think it sucked. I just think it was good. It just went on. Both guys beat the hell out of each other in this no-holds-barred match. So, there you go. When that Ron Simmons in a T-shirt commercial, I know, backstage with Alexa Bliss. He said, damn to, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas. Next, a match I'm sure no one did not want this to go through with. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in Kurt Angle's farewell match. What the fuck do I have to say about this bullshit? Number one, they really went through with it. And I shouldn't be surprised at that. Number two, like I said, this wasn't the worst match in the world or anything, and I've seen worse, don't get me wrong, but I just this felt like another episode of Raw. And we've seen these two face each other before. It's just that we've seen this match on Raw several times, and why do we need to see this shit again? That's what I want to know, okay? That's what I really want to know. And I actually think Kurt Angle is actually going to win this match because it's a retirement match and everything. But I'm like, well, I guess he's got to put him over because Corbin had tried to hit him with the "you can't see me" thing because, everybody wanted fans to see John Cena in this match. But Angle had got, Corbin. He German suplexed him then. He went for a moonsault, but he missed it. Kurt hit the end of days, and that ends Kurt Angle's career. Corbin left. Kurt pretty much, he thanked the fans. He want to do this one last time because he's doing this for 20 years now. And as everybody pretty much said, you suck. His music played, and he was gone. Let me just say this. This match was nothing what we saw on Raw before. I did not give a shit about this match. It was not good. I really wasn't. And I for some reason, I'm putting more blame on Baron Corbin into this than I am Kurt Angle. I will say this, if this is, Kurt Angle's last match, which it pretty much is, but I wish it would have went on a better note for this retirement thing. I guess he wanted to put Baron Corbin over. I don't know what the fuck this company sees in Baron Corbin, but I guess they told Kurt Angle, like, hey, go out there and put this guy over and make him into something, which I don't know what much is going to make him, okay? It really isn't. But listen, I will say this about Kurt Angle, though. He is one of the most respected wrestlers in this business. I have pretty much watched Kurt Angle since the beginning, ever since he came into the WWF, especially Survivor Series 1999. I have pretty much watched Kurt Angle's full career going up all the way to date, from the WWE all the way to TNA and coming back here. So if this is really over and everything, and I'm sure he'll probably get a standing ovation or a big send-off on Raw tomorrow night, but I like I said, I get he put people over in this. Well, he only put Corbin over, but, he beat everybody else into this whole retirement Angle match thing, which, like I said, this match wasn't the worst, but, it's like you really went through with Corbin of all people. It's just a shame in a way and weird that Baron Corbin, an Applebee's waiter, was Kurt Angle's final match in wrestling, and it's the shits, okay? It's the fucking shits. So what do you want me to say? Something good from this? It's nothing really that good, okay? And like I said before, the crowd is already spent at this point too. And like I already said, WrestleMania already peaked after the Kofi match, but this shit right here, I just rolled my eyes after seeing Corbin win. Like, I'm not surprised in a way, but it's like, I'm like, dude, just give Kurt Angle the fucking win so he can go out of his retirement like this. Not put this fucking jack off over, okay? I don't know what they see in Corbin. I don't know. I don't see it. They must think of him as some heat magnet or he's that great of a heel. I don't fucking see it. And we've seen this match before. We've seen it before. So, what the fuck is this? I just rolled my eyes, man. I don't know. Maybe something happens on Raw tomorrow night. I'm sure people wanted John Cena. Hell, I'm sure people wanted The Undertaker to be there. But like I said, very surprisingly, we saw no Undertaker tonight. No mention of Undertaker. Nothing of Undertaker. So I expected somebody was going to come out and beat up Corbin, but they went through with this bullshit. So there you go. And as we get into the main event of this show, not the main event, but the co-main event, which at one point I was just starting to forget matches because I was just ready for this fucking show to end. I was just getting tired of it at this point. Bobby Lashley versus the Demon Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. Who the fuck did you think was gonna win this match? Okay, first off, I don't know why they had Lashley had contacts in his eyes and like neon green, and of course Balor had his demon gear. This match was like 4 minutes. Of course, Rush tried to distract him, but Lashley ended up... I did like Lashley speared Balor through the ropes, which looked like Lashley flew at one point. But, Balor pretty much right out the blocks, drop kicking him, taking out Lashley. And then he powerbombed Lashley, and then hit him with a coup de grace for the win. This match was like 4 minutes, so come on, we all knew Balor was winning the Intercontinental title anyways. There was no point of taking it off him again and then just put it back on him at WrestleMania. Listen, the booking was very bad to this between Lashley and Finn Balor. We all knew this match was happening. I'm just glad we saw the Demon this time instead of the bullshit we saw last year. So there you go, but why was this even the co-main event of WrestleMania? I thought this match would have been at the beginning of the show for all I knew. I thought it would have been the beginning of the show, but hey, how wrong was I? So Balor wins. He gets the Intercontinental title. Where does Lashley go off from this? I got no fucking clue. Okay, I don't know if it'll be a rematch on Raw tomorrow night for all I know. So, but I just did not really want to see this shit. Okay, this was just, you knew who was winning this match. You all fucking knew who was winning this match, so there's not much to say from this. It really isn't. Balor wins. There you go. Demon, call it a day. 4-minute match. Alexa Bliss comes out there, and then what do they do? Of course, they got to lie about the attendance records, I'm sure, for WrestleMania. Say it was 82,000. Yeah, sure, it's over 82,000. We'll see when the real numbers come out, because you guys already been caught lying about your numbers anyway, so what is the point of keeping announcing this bullshit? And then we had a dance break with Carmella and R-Truth, so there you go. But like I said, the fans are pretty much spent at this point just going to this, because by the time the main event came on, I swear it had to be like 11 something, or it was damn near 11 o'clock, or 10, I think it was either 10:30 or 10:40 before the main event happened. And they have Charlotte having this grand entrance, which they said was like Rick's entrance from back then. I think it was like in 1984 when I don't remember the event it was, but he flew in on a helicopter. It had the title, and she had, she pretty much had, had all these people roll out the red carpet for her, and as they gave her gear and everything, and robe going into the, the stadium and stuff, they just rolled out the red carpet for Charlotte, a whole helicopter entrance. And of course, they had Rousey come out first with the, Joe Jett and the Blackhearts for the Bad Reputation theme song with the band. And Charlotte makes her usual entrance after the whole helicopter thing and stuff. And then Becky pretty much had which was really weird to me too. We got what was I gonna say? Ronda gets a band, Charlotte gets this extravagant helicopter entrance, and Becky just gets a regular entrance, which she looked like Kill Bill still, and they had the band thing there, but I don't even know if the crowd popped that loud to me when she came out. They were just spit at this point. There was still some big Becky chants, but this main event, what do I have to say about the main event? Did I think this was a good match? Yeah, I think it was a good match, but I'm not gonna say, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of criticism into this. Did I think this match was overhyped as hell? Hell yeah, people overhyped the fuck out of this. Did it feel kind of overbooked in a way? Yes, it did. Number one, like I said, all the women, they did beat the hell out of each other and everything. They really did. They beat the living fuck out of each other in this match. And there was some good spots from Charlotte doing the C4 in the ring on Becky, to them kicking, I think, was it Becky and Charlotte kicking Ronda out of the ring there, as she tried to do that armbar thing on both, a double armbar on them, which didn't work. She went for the double armbar again, and she still couldn't get it. They kept power bombing her until they got rid of her then. I swear there's a lot of word bitch being thrown around also, since, even, Ronda at one point said, only bitches use tables and stuff, because Becky brought a table, and Ronda flipped over the table, and it wasn't going to go down. Let me tell you one thing here. There was a lot of spot calling in this match. Lots and lots of spot calling. You could just, hear the loud spots of who was going to do what move, and I'm sitting there This is a lot of spot calling in this match, okay? Like, I've seen enough botches in this match, but wow, they were just like shouting out the moves they were gonna do, okay? They were. And, Charlotte getting the figure eight at one point, trying to bridge it with, Becky come back with a leg drop then, pretty much breaking it up. Even when they had got the table into the ring, then Becky brought in that's when Ronda flipped over the table, and even when Charlotte's chapping her, he said, "You hit like a bitch," and then Charlotte like, "Bitch, I'll show you," and then slapped the taste out of her mouth. Then, and then we got the table then on on the apron part, not the apron, but on the turnbuckle part of it. Charlotte pretty much charges into them, but Becky and Ronda pretty much throw Charlotte into the table, which the table does not break. So I am the table. Botchamania. Like I said, that table did not break. It did not break with Charlotte. She rolls from under the ring. Then Rousey and Becky go at it. Of course, they kept trying to fight to hit their finishers and everything. Hit their finishers. Rousey did that running knee thing in the air. She pretty much hit Piper's Pit on her. But then next thing you know, Becky pretty much rolled her up into like a crucifix and won the match. And here's the thing. I actually almost missed the finish because I went to the bathroom. I think I went to the bathroom to get something to drink real quick because I had to go. And by the time I come back, I'm like, the match is over. What the fuck happened? I had to rewind it, and I just see this finish of, this roll out of the ring shit. I'm sitting there like, what is this? I'm like, that's the finish? And it just looked odd. It looked botchy, and you could see Ronda's shoulders were really up. So it's like they went for a controversial finish, and even, Rousey was pissed in after that, saying my shoulders weren't down, but the referee argued. I'm thinking, like, is this some type of swerve what's going on and stuff? So I didn't know what to think of that, but Becky still won both the championships, okay? And I will say one thing, all the faces won, okay? All the faces got the big titles. The one you thought was going to lose, none of them lost. They all won their championships in these big three title matches. I'll say that. But, just looking at this match, did it really feel like a main event match? Really, I don't know. This was a good match. I'll admit that. But the fact that we're going with like a controversial finish angle, and at one point I would have thought that Becky was going to make Ronda tap or something. That's what I actually kind of saw coming, but we joined by a roll-up finish. That's what I don't get. We're going to go by a roll-up finish here, which is probably going to transition into Raw now. It's probably going to be some rematch probably tomorrow night on SmackDown and stuff. So I don't know what to really take from this. Did this really feel like a main event match in a way? In a way, yes, it did, and it didn't at the same time, too, okay? And I'm sure ESPN is going to eat this up. I see Becky winning this match anyways? Yes, but even I was thinking a little, okay, Kofi won the title, Seth won the title, so all the faces can't win. So I actually thought Charlotte probably would have won the belts, and just, they got to make her ultimate champion. Like, I should say current Los Ingobernables member also, if I want to go with that. The girl's already doing the Tranquilo thing and stuff, since you went August. I'm about to count hers in a Los Ingobernables, but, I was surprised. I actually almost thought she was actually going to win the championship tonight. But, at least Becky won, and it makes a double champion. She got her moment, but the crowd was just spit after this. They didn't even pop that big, and even I thought the crowd was, they did like some spots that they saw, but it looked like the crowd was just indifferent because they've sat there for almost 7.5 hours tonight. Like I said before earlier in this video, Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, that was damn near the real main event to me, okay? That's where the show peaked, and everything just either dragged along or got bad right after. It didn't make a lot of sense. Like in the beginning part of WrestleMania, and when the actual main show started, it was really going good all the way into the Kofi and Bryan match. I'm probably minus out the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Women's match, though, because I just think that match was not really that good. The Iconics thing just really confuses me. But after Kofi and Bryan, the crowd just... It's like that's where everything peaked, okay? That's where everything peaked, and that's why I still go with my statement of saying they probably should have been the main event of this entire show, okay? But the reaction they got out there was just fucking phenomenal, okay? It was. But, at the same time, for this main event, though, I just don't know what was with this finish. I don't understand this. I actually thought it would have been either a clean win or Becky tapping her out. Not by this roll-up, which we're not even sure if her shoulders were on the ground now. which they'll have some type of angle built up into this tomorrow. Okay, I'm sure they will, but I don't know, man. The main event, I just, like I said before, man, and you've heard my criticism of what I said about the main event to begin with and everything, and now it looks like some of my words are probably right into this now that I think about it. So, there you go. Okay, that's what I would say about the main event. Now, as an overall show, listen, this WrestleMania was way better than last year. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there's no doubt about that. Way fucking better. Like, no one can really argue and say it was better than last year's WrestleMania. If I had to grade WrestleMania this year, I'd probably give it nearly either a B to a B minus. I was gonna say C, but I was like, nah, there was a little bit more good and bad. So I want to say between a B and a B minus. Okay, like the first half of the show, going all the way into Kofi, was really good, and then got to that great moment with Kofi and Bryan. But pretty much after that, that's where a lot of the show just started to peak, and the crowd was already spent, or they just did not give a fuck on some of these matches. Like, come on, man, the Kurt and Corbin thing was just, I don't know, man, the shits. But I understand Kurt Angle wants to walk out on his own terms, out of wrestling and everything. But from that just to the U.S. title being a minute, but I think that's because Ray was hurt. Demon versus Lashley, just whatever to me. So there you go. I had liked Batista and Triple H, but it just went on too damn long, and the whole Guardian, that guy's a galaxy. But Batista tripping himself, or Borderlands 3 Triple H. I don't know what god idea what was that. I did like Thugonomics Cena, so there you go. But we're still not out of the woods yet, people. We still got the night after Mania tomorrow night with Monday Night Raw, and we still got SmackDown the next night also. So we're not out of this, and I'm sure fans wanted to get the fuck up out of there. I heard 15 as soon as the show was over, 15 minutes later they were cleared the fuck out of there. Okay, because that show did not end until nearly 12:30. In that time frame of New York, New Jersey. Okay, that's when the show had ended over there. Like, it stopped at about 11:25 in Chicago, and I gotta say, you gotta give it to the people that watch this show around the world, especially around the country, from like the UK or Australia or whatever other country you're watching WrestleMania right now. Some people stayed up to nearly almost 5, 6 a.m. until the show ended there. So kudos to them, and I hope you had a lot of coffee, because I had a venti triple mocha from Starbucks to keep me going throughout this show. I got to try venti also, because they ran out of venti cups, so I got lucky and getting a way bigger cup for a bigger mocha for me. So I am still a little hyped throughout this show, but I probably need to get to sleep soon anyways, because I have been on this thing for over an hour and a half almost doing this review, okay? So, like I said, it's been a long weekend of wrestling. Like I said, WrestleMania did not shit themselves all the way, I will say that. But that main event just left. I feel like it just either confused people, it was botchy, and it was meh. It was almost like meh. I think it was an alright match. It was a good match. I'm not going to say it was something spectacular that they went, I know they tried to go balls to the wall, but this crowd was either spit or it was just meh to good. That's all it was, and that's a lot of responses I heard tonight. So that's why I just, now I just think about it, like, was this worth the main event in a way, or does WWE just like to push this whole, hey, it's the first ever, it's the historic first ever, and that's what WWE loves to do. They've been doing this with the women for a minute now, okay? I've said this shit before. First ever Hell in a Cell, first ever Iron Woman match, TLC match, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. Some of those are good, don't get me wrong, and that's good. But when you're trying to push the agenda of being the first ever this, first ever that, and everything, it gets very, very annoying after a while. Okay, WWE's already laying on the game when it comes to the women to begin with wrestling, okay, for the whole revolution thing. Other companies are beating them to the punch, okay? There's no doubt about that. They've already beaten them to the punch on that. But WWE just loves to do this whole first ever thing, historic, first ever. You don't know if it's going to turn out good or not. So that's the thing. But like I said, this show, like I said, it just went on for a very, very long time. So, but like I said, this is just a very, very long show, okay? Like I said, First time ever. That's how WWE wants to push things. But like I said, there's pros, there's cons to WrestleMania. Okay, it is. And when I say NXT Takeover was better than this, NXT Takeover was perfection. Okay, you can't even argue with NXT. NXT. If you want to say it blew them out of the water, yeah, I'll agree with you right now and say that. Even the G1 Supercard too. On New Japan side though, Ring of Honor had its moments and just weird parts of it too. Okay, just some weird things, but like I said, G1 Supercard still was great last night. Madison Square Garden and Takeover was just insane, or whatever any other wrestling show that happened over this weekend in the New York, New Jersey area. Okay, so it's been a very, 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 very long weekend of this stuff. Okay, and we finally got the Mania, but we still got 2 more nights of this. Okay, 2 more. Raw, SmackDown. So get ready. Alright, so we are not out of the woods from this. So, comment, subscribe, tell what you thought about WrestleMania 35. What was your favorite match on this show? Good, bad? Did you like it? Hate it? Was it better than last year? Was it even good in general? Did it drag on too long? Well, I'm sure everybody will agree it dragged on too long. It was almost 7.5 hours. Hey, I thought the G1 Supercar was longer. That was like 5:30 to 11, but at least that kept me up throughout most of what was going on. It wasn't that bad all the way, but this was almost from 4 o'clock p.m. all the way to 11:25 p.m. in my time zone. And it was a very, 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 very long show. Okay, so that's the thing with WrestleMania. All right, just a very long show. But like I said, at Hooded Knight 890 on Twitter. Tell me what you thought about this show. I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed WrestleMania, and I hope you enjoy when you see this review of WrestleMania 35. I'm out of here. Peace. It's me, the HWD, coming with the news and reviews. You know what I am. You know what I do. With the show, here I go. We hope you stayed all the way for whatever type of insomnia to Castlevania. We are now done with this review of WrestleMania. Out of here. Peace. Had to give one bar here before I go. Out.